Hello students, welcome to another class on mathematics. Today I will start discussing three important derivative quantities in physics. They are gradient of a scalar function, divergence and curl of a vector function. And today I will start with gradient of a scalar function. These are actually different types of derivatives of scalar and vector functions. They are obtained using a vector operator del. This is called del. It is also called nabla. I prefer to call it as del. So I will be using this terminology del in my classes. This del is actually a vector derivative operator which is I cap dou by dou x plus j cap dou by dou y plus k cap dou by dou z. This is an operator which can act on functions. We can actually obtain three kinds of derivatives. I have listed that here. The first one is gradient of a scalar function or scalar field, and the second one is divergence of a vector function or vector field, and the curl of a vector function or vector field. So the last two applies for vector functions and the first one applies for scalar functions only. That is, we cannot have a gradient of vector functions and we cannot have a divergence and curl of scalar functions. These three quantities are very important in physics, and it is very interesting to note that the most famous equations in physics, which are called Maxwell's equations, they contain two divergence equations and two curl equations of electric and magnetic fields. Now I start with this gradient of a scalar field. Scalar field means scalar function, a function depending upon space variables. Space variables x, y, z. So if a scalar quantity is depending upon space variables, then it is also called a scalar field, because at every point x, y, z we have a function which is a scalar quantity. So that is called a scalar field. So this gradient of a function of x, y, z is defined as this del operating on f, the function. So that will be dou f by dou x I cap plus dou f by dou y j cap plus dou f by dou z k cap. Since this f is a function of x, y, z, this dou f by dou x is also a function of x, y, z. So del f or gradient of f is also a vector function or a vector field. Now I will consider three very interesting properties of this del f. These things are extensively used in physics because they contain many physical information about the function f. The first property is that the del f will be perpendicular to f equal to constant surface. For example, in physics, this f can be pressure. Pressure can be defined at every point in space and it has no direction. So pressure is a scalar field. So we can have a pressure constant surface which is also called isobar. Whenever there is a pressure difference between two isobars, that is two pressure constant surfaces, then air will flow from high pressure region to low pressure region, and the flow of wind will be perpendicular to these isobars. So flow of wind will be from high pressure region to low pressure region, and it is perpendicular to the f is equal to constant surface. The second property of del f is that it is directed along the maximum rate of change of the function. When you change the position, f also will change. So f will change in a different way in different directions. So there will be a direction in which the rate of change is maximum, and del f is directed along the direction in which maximum rate of change of function occurs. That is this statement. And the third one is directional derivative of f is the component of del f in that direction. That is That is, if you go from a point in different directions, then you will get a different derivatives. So if you go in a particular direction, that is called a directional derivative of that function in that particular direction. And you can find the directional derivative in any direction using this gradient, and the component of gradient in any direction will be equal to the directional derivative of that function in the same direction. Now I will explain and prove these three properties of del one by one. Now suppose this is a surface. Actually this is not a line, this is a surface. F is equal to C1. If you put a function of x, y, z equal to constant, then you will get a surface. For example, if you write a x square plus y square plus z square equal to a constant, say a square, then that will represent a spherical surface. We know that x square plus y square equal to a square is equation of a circle. That is in 2 dimensions. So in 3 dimensions you will get a x square plus y square plus z square is a constant, and that will be surface of a sphere. Similarly, if you put any function equal to constant, that represents a surface. So this is such a surface, f is equal to c1, and this is another surface. If you take a function as say potential, these surfaces are called equipotential surfaces. And if you take this function as a pressure, then these are called isobars. Now we consider a point on the f is equal to c1 surface. Suppose that point is represented by x comma y comma z, and they are the coordinates. Suppose we consider another point, a nearby point, whose coordinates are this x plus dx, y plus dy, and z plus dz. Now when we go from P to Q, the value of the function can change. For example, if this is potential at two different points will be different. So let us consider the change in the function. That a change in the function is given by df, and it will be equal to, by the rules of partial derivative, it is dou f by dou x dx plus dou f by dou y dy plus dou f by dou z dz. This dou f by dou x is actually rate of change of f with respect to x. Dou f by dou x is actually change in f per unit distance. So for a dx distance, this is the change in f due to change in x. So this is the change in f due to change in y. This is the change in f due to change in z. So total change will be the sum of all these changes. So that is the change in the f due to change in the position from P to Q. Now this df can be written as del f dot dr. How? See, del f is dou f by dou x I cap, dou f by dou y j cap, and dou f by dou z k cap. And we have got r, which is the position vector of xyz, can be written as xi cap, y j cap, z k cap. Now if you take a differential, then you will get a dr is equal to dxi plus dyj plus dzk. If you dot this vector with this vector, so you will get a dou f by dou x dx, that is this term, dou f by dou y dy, that is this term, dou f by dou z dz, that is this term. So df is equal to dot product of del f and dr, that is del f dot dr. So from the definition of dot product, we have got a magnitude of del f, magnitude of dr into cosine of the angle between del f and dr. So del f dr cos theta. Now we can have all these three conclusions about the del f from this particular equation. Here theta is the angle between del f and dr, and that is shown here. This I have drawn as a del f, and this is our dr, which is equal to pq. So this is dr, so this is del f, this is the angle between del f and dr. dr is actually vector pq. Now all these three conclusions can be obtained from the equation which we have derived just now, that is df is equal to del f dr cos theta. Now if we suppose that dr lies on the surface f is equal to c1, that is PQ is along the surface, P and Q both are on the surface, then there is no change in the function because f is a constant on that surface, so df will be equal to 0. If you substitute that here, then we have got this LHS equal to 0, so RHS also must be equal to 0. Del f is not 0, dr is not equal to 0, therefore cos theta must be equal to 0, therefore theta will be equal to 90 degrees because cos 90 is equal to 0. That means del f and dr are perpendicular to each other. So dr is along the surface. So del f is normal to the surface. That is the first statement. Del f is perpendicular to f is equal to constant surface. The second statement is del f is directed along the maximum rate of change of f. Now let us divide this equation by dr. Then dr on the RHS will cancel, and we will get df by dr, which is the derivative of f with respect to r, and it is equal to magnitude of del f into cos theta. Now let us take this dr along the del f. We already know that del f is perpendicular to f is equal to constant surface. So let us take pq along df. In that case, theta equal to 0, and we know that RHS is maximum for theta equal to 0, because for theta equal to 0 we have got a cos theta equal to its maximum value, which is equal to 1. So df by dr will be maximum when theta is equal to 0. In that case, angle between del f and dr is equal to 0. So dr is along the del f. So we can conclude that del f is directed along the maximum rate of change of the function, or df by dr maximum. So we have proved this second statement also. Now we go to the third statement, which is a directional derivative of f is the component of del f in that direction. A directional derivative means derivative in a particular direction. Now let us find the derivative of the function along PQ, that is df by dr along the direction PQ. So that is given by df by dr is equal to del f cos theta, and del f cos theta is nothing but component of del f in that direction. So df by dr in any direction will be del f cos theta. So that is the third statement. Directional derivative in any direction will be equal to component of del f in that particular direction.